All People's Party in Rivers State has dismissed the viral online list of its chairmanship candidates for the October 5 local government elections. APP National Vice Chairman for the South-South, Kenneth Atata, tells our correspondent that the party has conducted its primaries for chairmanship and councillorship positions since August and is here to release the official candidates list. He said the party will only publish the list after completing all party procedures like candidate substitutions. The APP National Vice Chairman for the South-South also denied claims that the party's candidates were handpicked by the Rivers State Governor, Similaye Fubara. What do you have to say to this story, Chizzy? What do you have to say to this?
Well, Chairman, you see, first is to note that political parties are not registered in the state. Political parties is national, so that would mean that it's just a branch that is in the state, local government, and world. And so when they are speaking from the national, they should be correct. Of course, primaries can be conducted by a party, you know, and most of these quote unquote, please don't let me insult any political party. Most of these small parties, what they do is that they conduct their primaries, put up their names, awaiting those who will come to substitute, who would have been, you know, dealt with in the bigger parties for them to substitute. And of course, there's also a window for substitution. Now, if you have met those windows, then they're publishing names, and then, of course, in INEC, I'm not going to talk about LISEC because I haven't run an election in LISEC, but I'm going to say in INEC where I have run an election, the INEC you will not substitute, and there will be a court, you know, affidavit saying that this guy has done that and all of that. And the substitution does not mean that someone has to also have pick it. INEC has to also be in the primaries that will substitute the other one, because there's a window for all of that. So I think in this instance, the LISEC should have also have done such thing, or should do such thing. Now that the national chairman is saying, no, we have our own, we're waiting for substitution and we have not done the procedure of the substitution, meaning that why would anybody begin to campaign if you haven't been substituted correctly? That's the first thing. Meaning, the National Vice Chairman South-South supervises the party at the South-South. So if there's any authority you should quote, especially it has to do with the instance of Rivers State, should be the Vice Chairman of the South-South. And so if he is saying that, look, up till today, that their procedure for substitution, you know, has not been completed, that means that up till today, the APP do not have candidate for the election, the local government election, and shouldn't even have. That's what it means, because the time for substitution has elapsed, and so they shouldn't even have by law. So anything outside that is something I will not say, but it is left for them, the people, to say, no, you substituted all of that, the national people to say this, and then they give us time, you know. But the beauty of all of this substitution is that, Chairman, you see, we have gone digital. We are no longer in those periods where you say, I did this and all of that. If you buy form through bank today, the date and the time you bought the form will show now, isn't it? So we will all know when you bought the form. Even the bank will tell us when you bought the form. The substitution is done online, so we'll know when. If you do something online, the time will change, because if you change it, you will change the entire server, isn't it? So we're waiting. He has told us that, oh, that thing which we were also thinking hasn't happened. So which means that there's going to be election. And so until he said that, I didn't know that the election is actually October 5th, 2025, not 2024. Not this election that is coming down, because that's the election now. What are we talking about? Even local, even youth elections are not done that way. There are times and dates. Like I've always said, election is a procedure. Election is not an event. By the grace of God, if I say that, I'm not proud. By the grace of God, I study political science. That means that I've gone through the classroom of theoretical politics into this very harsh arena of practical politics. And I've done this, Chairman, when you were not a little bit not born, you know, in practical politics. And so I have experienced enough to know that there are procedures. Election is not an event. Now the campaign has not actually started, or this campaign is going to start as we are sitting down here. A campaign for election next week will start. When will the campaign end? And I mean, assuming the minimum word in Rivers State is 10. That the Omuma, I can mention the words. There are 10 words. So assuming that you want to now go to each of the words, when do you constitute your team? When do you do all of that? But again, apart from that, even what they are doing now is far gone. So what will RISEC tell us? They're just opening way for
the window for substitution. Is it not closed?
No, it's closed. I'm not even talking. I said even the window, including the window for substitution, is closed because you see, the window for substitution would have been 20 days. 20 days before the election. Do you understand that? Because LISEC will have to publish the name. You give LISEC time to even publish, and you don't start campaigning until LISEC publishes your name. Because you may not just be the person, you may not have just been qualified. So what is happening here, like I've told you, from 2023 to now, the kind of politics that is happening in Rivers State, I think I should go and do a PhD to write a thesis on it, because I'm still waiting. It's not known to political science. But of course, social sciences evolve. Theories evolve. Maybe this is one of the hypotheses that I will take that become theory and the cheesy theory. Because it's not, but the question is, what are the facts that I will have to have my theories on? Because I don't understand it. Why people will begin to do, if you want to sin, I have said it before, there's sin with sense. If you want to sin with sense. Now let us understand what issue you are doing and then do it with certain logic. That's all I can say.
All right. Daniel, what do you have to say?
Yes, let me conclude from where you ended what you read out. Was that he said the candidates were not handpicked
by the Rivers State governor.
By the Rivers State governor. I think I was going through, was it 3 days ago or so? I was going through my X handle and somebody retweeted something into that I saw. This man of Obiakwa local government, the caretaker.
Okay.
Yes, Hunda or something. Actually visited the office. He showed a video of him visiting the office, saying that he had come to visit the APP office in preparation to, because when you are now saying October 2025, it's actually October 2024. No, I understand where you are headed, but you see, unfortunately, we mix politics with governance. The Rivers State governor is now the governor for all. In other words, for the sake of tomorrow, let's create a law that accommodates us today, that will accommodate us tomorrow, regardless of who is in power. Now, if you say an election would hold by next month, 5th of next month, I expect that for Obiakwa local government, for example, we should have known who are the councillors of various political parties. By now, we should be having a conversation about who this man is, who that woman is. We should be interrogating some processes. That is why you see some people fear that handling the RISEC offices, the SIEC offices around the states, people prefer that, move it to INEC. That how bad INEC is, these other subnationals are dangerous. In good conscience, in clear conscience, how do you hold election by 5th of next month? That you sit down and you say these things and you go to bed, your conscience don't prick you. That the end game is to make the life of the people of Rivers State better. Remember when the governor was constituting the caretaker committee, part of the things he charges the caretaker chairman was that to reach out to the various people of Rivers State and to also the message of the PDP. So, seeing his appointees visiting the office of the APP, is that anti-party?
Openly.
What is the issue? It's difficult to challenge certain things, but sometimes you begin to interrogate yourself, asking, why are these guys moving towards this point? What could be happening? But I say that it is detrimental to the progress of Rivers State if you have that election by 5th of next month. How do you conduct the election what is the process? Is it a direct? Is it an indirect election? How? What is it?
If I may ask you, would you say that you've raised concerns about the timeline.
Not just timeline. There is nothing. No,
everything is shrouded in secrecy.
See, for example, INEC said 30 days before election, publish the list, paste the list, let people go to their various polling unit and check. Has any been done here in Rivers State?
Has there been campaigns?
No, let's even start from what the people who even want to vote. Let's say there will be an election. How about the people who want to vote?
They don't even know they can't.
Nobody knows. That's why I said in clear conscience, can we tell ourselves, remove the political parties. These are people from Rivers State. The governor is not better off than the other person. He's only privileged to become the governor of Rivers State.
Now, in your opinion, would you say it's a selection that is going on?
No, I cannot even say anything because I don't even know what is going on. Nothing. See, if the research had published to say, these are the guidelines, these are what we received, that's why you see sometimes you see in a political party, for example, when you see a Daniel Momo on the ticket, if we're in the same policy, he can challenge to say, these things that Daniel stated as his education, no, Daniel didn't go to that school. I want to challenge it. But there is nothing to say that the people who would even represent you, you don't know them. Nothing. So, in clear conscience, would you allow an election to go on? Just how many days? No campaign, nothing, no awareness, nothing. And so for me, in clear conscience, I cannot, nothing to attack, nothing to talk on, nothing published, nothing. Except we are the only claiming that date, nothing. Aside the date, nothing. Has INEC released his data to them? That's what I wanted to say. Has INEC released his data because the court said no, do not release those data. So it's difficult because the research itself is supposed to have a spokesperson who engages the media, and that is why you guys too, I think you are a bit quiet. That interrogate the process, go to them, find out what is happening. Somebody is supposed to be speaking for them. Who is speaking for them? To say this is the stage we have gotten to, this is where we are, this is how much the Rivers State government had released to us to conduct these elections. Nothing except the date that has been bandied about. Nothing else. And so in clear conscience, and I think that the people in authority should know, no, you can't go ahead with such thing. Imagine a federal government behaving like this, or an INEC, Mahmoud Yakub, behaves like this. What would you and I say? I think Nigeria will want to burn now. But this thing starts with people with this kind of mentality at the subnational level. When they get above this, they will be more dangerous. And so that's why it behoves on all of us to attack the process and call them to order. What are the CSOs saying in Rivers State? Nothing from anyone. Everybody is just calm. Probably maybe we supported the people, and so let's just keep quiet. Then it is somebody
that's the question I wanted to ask you when you mentioned the CSOs. Are the CSOs speaking for the masses, or are they political CSOs?
They are supposed to speak, interrogate the processes, challenge some of these things. But I cannot speak for them why they are not speaking. But I'm saying, as an individual, as a person who is concerned, as somebody who has lived there for several years, that this cannot be said to be an election of normal human beings in a sane society. No, this is not an election. Even in a family something, there would have been meeting, circulating meeting, probably maybe a WhatsApp messages to say we are meeting. This is what we'll be doing. Not to even talk of a state with several political interests, several political parties, and then the umpire is gone mute. Very unfortunate.
Not speaking.
All right, Chizi.
I think even talking about it is giving the relevance, because I don't even see anything at all, like he said. It looks like we are operating the vacuum. Firstly, he brought out one issue. INEC is supposed to release their document, that is registered voters, to RISEC. Do you also know that RISEC is also supposed to publish that this at the unit level? So that firstly, those who will vote will know that they are going to vote that day.
They are eligible to vote.
They are eligible to vote. It's not been done. Then we are not talking about even the candidates. Do you also know that INEC is supposed to print the voters card? So which political party are they going to vote? Put the voter card, and you are still submitting to candidates up till now. So when are they going to print it? Maybe they will write, and then later on after the election.
At this point, we don't even know the parties that are.
You don't know the parties, so anybody can be contested for election. You don't even know the parties that are vying. INEC has not published. So when is INEC going to print that listing for 6,700 units in Rivers State? So how we go?
So that still brings me back to the question that I've asked. Is this going to be an election, or is there a selection already done and just waiting for the day for the selected, anointed candidates to be announced?
I am saying that it does not even meet what we call selection. Not talk about the election. It has not. The process has not even met selection. See, when people talk about selection, it's a little bit sarcastic, but of course it's because, but certain procedures will be met. For instance, would you just look at somebody because you want to select the person and then put the person as governor, and the person does not have party, does not have anything? That's what we're talking about. That there will be a day for primaries, but that maybe people gathered and then you went and selected somebody. That's what it means. There's going to be a day for...
Let it be that the procedures were followed.
That was why I was using the thing. If you have to sing with sense now. But as you are not doing it, there is no logic to it. There is nothing you are doing. In fact, it also comes to question the intelligence of those in power. I'm not exaggerating it. And I think the chairman of LISEC should speak up, because this is making mess of his experience and other things.
And reputation.
I mean, he organized an election that I have not seen. He said, look at, as bad as all of us have seen INEC to be, people are still yearning that LISEC should go to INEC. I mean, the election local government should go to INEC. That's because what they found here, they thought that was bad until they came to a place that is both wicked, nonsense, and it does not exist. That's what is happening. If not, we are in a federated state. Will people be arguing that there's some, I was looking at the other day. I said, do you know that in Nigeria we have 3 tiers of government, and in US they have 2 tiers? You know why it's 2 tiers? Yes, they have local council, municipal councils. Why? Because they are creation of the states. And nobody hears about that, because there are people who organize the council of secretaries of local government, organize elections at local government level, and they meet procedures, and those procedures are stated. Now you don't even know. So somebody can come from Enugu, for instance, who hasn't stayed here, and then you put his name, and then we're waiting, and then that day they announce the name. Like he said, what is the budget of LISEC? What is their budget? Which assembly has accepted the appropriation for the budget? Which assembly? What is the appropriation law? What's the appropriation law? On which appropriation are they even spending the money on? Which LISEC? How much? That's why he said, how would a LISEC public policy director come to speak, commissioner speak? Speak and what? The guy knows that he will let it go, because they don't know. See, I know 2, 3, 4 of the LISEC people. I know them. I know that they don't even know what's happening. So what are you talking about? There's nothing happening.
All right.